Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let me hear from some of you that what is what do you consider nature as, and how is it useful for us, to human beings or to living beings, and in what ways? किस तरीके से जो प्रकृति है वो हमारे लिए अ, लाभदायी है, और किस तरह से वो सारे लिविंग बीइंग्स, जीवित प्राणियों के लिए उपयोगी है। तो अगर कुछ आप लोग अपने थॉट्स इसके बारे में रखें तो उससे हम इस टॉपिक को आगे बढ़ाने में हमें मदद मिलेगी। Anyone, like, you can say whatever is coming in your mind.
Yeah, nature is everything. We are part of nature. Nature is part of us, and nature is everything. Literally, we get everything from nature, and nature is also made up of five elements. We are made up of five elements, and they're very inspiring. I mean, more giving than like trees and water and all. जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, नदी नदी न कभी संचय सी परमारथ के, वो जो आता है कि वृक्ष कभी ना फल भक्षे, नदी न संचय सी नीर, मतलब ये सब देने गिवर है। तो वो एक अप्रोच ये भी है, लाइफ गिविंग है, थेराप्यूटिक हीलिंग है। दिस इज माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग। नेचर इज एवरीथिंग, नेचर इज थेराप्यूटिक, इट्स हीलिंग। दैट्स व्हाट इज कमिंग अप ऑन माय माइंड।
Yeah, absolutely, so nice. Yeah.
What was your
Therapeutic
question?
है. Yeah, so the question was that I wanted to know from all of you that what is just a second. Yeah, so my question was that what is this nature? How do we understand nature as, and how is it useful for human beings, all or any other living beings? This was my question.
Nature is your you can say your surroundings, and nature is what you are. That is your nature. And maybe your thinking pattern, maybe your brought up pattern. I mean, everything is your nature. Take it as you are. That is your nature.
Yes, very right.
And
That's
five
We have
elements,
the
she
whole.
told also. 5 elements are nature.
right. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone
And
else? Yeah, please carry on.
you say, Jo pinde so brahmande, whatever your body is, the same is your 5 elements. That is actually, that is not your nature, but that is your composition, you can say. This
Yeah.
is
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? So, absolutely, I think we have touched upon some very basic terminologies here, like 5 elements, therapeutic, healing, inner nature, right? So, all of that is absolutely correct. Now, human beings, or you can say any living beings, are so much linked to nature, and nature is everything, as someone has said. Nature is everything. Now, if this nature is there, it's there everywhere. But if we are not understanding it fully, that how is it useful to us, how, what is it it is giving to us, then sometimes we miss the essence of it. Sometimes we are not able to uh, really um, understand the importance of it, and really miss it, right? So that is why it is very important that for anything, whatever we have in our lives, let us understand why it is important to us, for our survival, for our existence, for our for our being to be, to exist. So if we understand this why, then we really value it. We really uh, understand that if it is not there, or if it is in a state in which it is deteriorating, or it is going bad, then it might be important that we work on it so that it doesn't go bad further, or it is there for us for the times to come, right? So over the period of time, human beings have evolved from a primitive way of living to a modernity. Now there is so much change that has come, all the way from from hunting and gathering to now a computer man, everything which is done computerized manner. So a man who was a pastoralist, agriculturalist, or someone who is into some kind of a activity directly related to nature, now to a man who is a technology man. So this kind of a change which has occurred has also given a change in nature also, right? The nature is also changing. Now, we sometimes, understand this terminology environment. Now, this environment is a more concrete term, because in nature, as someone rightly said, that it's all also about your inner nature. So, environment is something which is related to the physical environment, right? In which we are talking about this air, water, land, right? And we are seeing the various possibilities of its uses for man. Now, earlier times, it was more fresh, more pure, and people used to, not become very unhealthy at that point in time, right? The quality of life was much better. Now, in today's time, the physical environment is also getting deteriorated due to man-made activities, due to so much of man's intervention into nature, in terms of so many activities that one man has started to do in order to gain some economic gains, or and which are also called as economic activities, because there is some gain out of it, or there is some need which is being fulfilled, right? So it became inevitable on the part of human being to exploit the nature, you know and to tap the resources from the nature. So the developed countries, they went ahead, to a far extent, but they again realized the importance of nature and again started to conserve it, you know seeing that it is not creating pollution in the environment, in terms of air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, noise pollution, all of that. Now when we are understanding these pollutions differently, and not attaching it with the living beings, that how it can impact us or all the living beings, then we are not understanding the importance of nature. So it is important that we really understand the value of our nature, what it is giving to us. Now, Panchabhutas, as someone said already in the start, 5 elements. So we are made up of 5 elements. We are made up of ether, air, sunlight, water, and earth element. Now, these 5 elements which are outside also are inside, right? There is a space inside of us. in which the movement is happening. If there is no space, movement will not happen, right? So movement is where the life exists. If something is standstill, nothing is moving, then there is no life there. A dead body doesn't have any sorts of movement whatsoever. So movement is necessary, the most important thing, right? Then there is air element inside of us, which is through breathing, and that there is inhalation, exhalation, which brings a lot of life, this the needed air element for us to survive. Without air, no one can survive, right? 3 minutes maximum, and the life is not there. So air is that important. And then comes the sunlight. Now, if you have seen any plants or any animals, without sun, they cannot survive. Even we cannot survive without sun. So it depends on, like, human body is such a make, that it can adapt to any situation for a very long period of time. It doesn't show up that easily, because human body is the highest make of the creator, is the most important make of the creator, um, is the topmost, right? In the sense that if one is not taking sunlight for few days, for few months, for few years, it will adapt, but it will start showing up the problem after some time, right? But plants cannot adapt to such thing. Plants will die if the sunlight is not given for few days maybe, and they will die without sunlight. Even with water also, same thing. So water is also the basic ingredient which is needed, and which is kind of needed for all human beings to survive, and earth element also. Now, these 5 elements will be grouped under 2 heads mainly. One is your subtle food, and another is your gross food. Now, this gross food is something which is tangible in nature, something which is, you can really touch it, you can feel it, smell it, and uh, and you can have the taste of it, right? The water has a taste. Any earth element with respect to plant foods has a taste, right? So our whole focus is mainly on these two things, basically, these gross elements, because something that we can see is something what we believe, something we can really uh, you know become very comfortable with. Something which is not seen, we sometimes are not comfortable with, right? So the subtle foods are not yet popular among people, and that is what, when we say that we are getting away from the nature, we are not taking sunlight, we are not taking pure air, we are not creating space within our body through fasting, so that our body can in itself replenish on its own, right? So that it can work on certain things which it is not able to do it for a very, very long period of time. So in nature also, if we keep on adding toxic elements, through industries, through vehicular emissions, or through any kinds of activities which adds this toxicity in the environment, in the air, or maybe in the water, through solid waste disposals, or through liquids which are there in the chemical industries, or any other ways. If we keep on adding to that, then beyond a point, the nature will start, uh, you know, giving you that purity and that health, because everything has a carrying capacity. Everything has a limits to everything. Like there is a limits to growth. You can't think that you can keep on adding this toxicity into the environment, and not giving environment its own time to replenish, to clean in itself, right? So earlier also there was vehicular emissions, earlier also there was industries, but nature got some time to replenish it, but nowadays what is happening? Too much population growth and so much reliance on the modern systems, in terms of fast food, in terms of other kind of modern lifestyle, that no people want to walk. They always want, every house has at least two to three cars, and for very small distances also they want to take their car with them, or any other scooter, or any other mode of transport which is faster in nature. So this fast life has led to a problem for the environment, for the nature, and nature has started to show its show it to all of us, to all living beings, that look, what have you done? What have you done to me? And now, because something is already there in the nature, and human beings or living beings are well connected with the nature in the system, so the impact will come to you also. So no one can be free of anything what we are adding onto the environment. So we have to understand that any fever, any dengue which is coming these days, or any conjunctivitis which has come previously, or coronavirus, or any other typhoid, or anything, has to do with how unclean environment that we are making around us. Now, whatever unhygienic environment we have around us will have an impact on us, will create a kind of a situation to us which will make us unhealthy, and whatever food that we are producing in this unhealthy environment is also going to have some ingredients related to that. So whatever we are eating then will be the cells which will be created will not be that healthy cells. Nowadays we are seeing, the puberty is coming so early to children. Earlier it was 12 to 14 years. Now it is much before that. Even menopause is happening much before, than usually it used to happen for the women in the earlier days. Now we may say that, our genes are changing, but have we ever thought about it, why it is changing? Because there is a complete connection with nature and with ourselves together. It is so much related. So if our five elements outside are impure, our inside five elements will also get impure. But having said that, there is no denial to the fact that nature is supreme. Nature has the capacity to cleanse in itself. Nature, to the last extent, will try to make you survive, will try to make you healthy in whatever way they can, right? So in nature, if the toxicity increases, to a larger extent, the germs are emerging. And why these germs are emerging? These germs are emerging to clean the environment, right? And so that the whatever things which are there in the environment can be cleansed properly, so that they eat away these toxins, they eat away these waste products. And in our body, if the toxicity goes to a greater levels, to a higher levels, beyond something that body needs to work it upon, so there comes a disease in our body. So disease is a friend. Disease is the way our life force works in favor of the body, in favor of making any person healthier through in that process. So why to have that fear for that disease, right? So the basic cause has to be eliminated in either of the situation, either outside or inside in our body, is to remove the cause, is to remove the filth, remove the toxic matter, remove the waste products from our system, from outside nature. Do not produce such kind of a waste which is not needed. Can we not reduce the waste? Can we not recycle what we already have? Now, every time something we need, see how consumerism is growing. So much of advertisement, so much of, through celebrities or other kind of a media involvement, we are told to buy so many new things all the time. And whatever we have, we discard it very soon. We don't use it for generations. Sometimes, if you go to the earlier times, the clothes which one child used to wear, the other children also used to wear the same clothes, in the families. They used to give clothes, and in that community, in that family, that used to happen. And there were small little things that they used to do, so that that we are using it, mm, uh, efficiently and using it properly. Now with this consumerism in place, we don't want to use beyond a point. We change our cars every 5 years. If we don't like it, we'll change our car, we'll change our phone, we'll change the whole house look, because we feel that it's not happening, it's not giving us that uh, that excitement in our lives. So if you will just go deeper into this aspect, why we are searching this happiness and this excitement outside of us and in the materialistic things. If this materialistic things is so much significant for us now, it will make us anxious, it will make us stressful, which will impact our inner health and inner well-being. So it's everything is related. The greed which we have outside, it will also impact us inside. The the peace, if we can create for ourselves, the kind of lifestyle, if we can adopt it, can really give us a lot of benefits. All the time we say that there is no time, it's so much fast life, we don't have time for any of the other things, we don't want to take a pause. We always feel there's a lack of time in our lives. Is this a really lack of time, or is this something that we are running behind something that we want to achieve? So that sense of achieving something, getting there something, in search of happiness, as we quote, that this will give us satisfaction, will give us inner happiness, is that real? Don't you think that whatever goals someone has made some point in time, thinking that if I achieve that, I'll become happy and satisfied? So if one has achieved that, later on, do you think that person remains calm, peaceful, and contented throughout? No. The person will again get something to, to get something there. And it is needed also. I'm not saying it's not needed. It is very much needed to feel full of life. But during that process, how are you enjoying yourself is the most important question. If you are feeling stressed, if you are getting, if you're working till late nights, and you are not taking care of your body, not taking care of your health, not giving the right kinds of inputs to your body, saying that I don't have time for all of these things because I have to work, then there is um, some disconnection that has happened with the nature. There is a non-alignment with the nature. So we have to see how we can embrace both the things together, how we can make an alignment to what is available outside to whatever is inside. Because if there is an unrest outside, there will be unrest here inside. It's connected. We are connected cosmic, in a cosmic manner, so one has to really align oneself with the nature and start looking for what is it that you truly want in your life. Sometimes we are told by our elders or by peer groups or by the system to do certain things in our life, and we're bound to do that, saying, okay, this is important. But do not, I feel that it is important to see whether this will give you what you're really looking for, the inner satisfaction, the inner happiness. If those things are really you are achieving with whatever you are doing, definitely do that. So sometimes I have seen many people changing their professions after 35 years of age or 42 years of age. Why? Because they feel this is where their inner calling is, and whatever they have done so far is something their education has made them to do, or that's how they were trained or conditioned to do certain things in life. So with children, if any children around us, the major role of the education is to really impart the education which is a meaningful education, not something that we want to create one kind of a people or one kind of an adults later on, similar kind of people all around. There has to be out of box thinking. We should encourage out of box thinking. If any one child says, I want to become a farmer, it should not be made mockery about it, right? There has to be given a space for this creative thinking, for this new kind of a thinking, which gives satisfaction, which gives this solace, which gives this understanding that these things are also possible. Not necessarily that only this conventional way of thinking of choosing a profession, right? So what is what you are like, and so when you eat food which are natural, and when you align yourself in a natural healthy lifestyle, doing things related to uh, what body needs it, right, not that what your mind needs it, then your decisions in life is also aligned towards your inner calling. Then it gets aligned to that, because then you are able to listen to that inner voice very easily, what exactly you want in your life. But sometimes, or you can say that usually, in this lot of chaos outside, in this lot of noise outside, and a lot of chattering which is happening inside of our heads, we are not able to listen to what we really look for, what we really think that it is good for us. So that is why on daily basis there has to be a pause, there has to be a meditative practices, meditative life that one needs to practice in their lives, you know and also involved in some creative work. one can think that why it is important, okay, doing some creative work, and I have heard so many adults saying, no, I used to do certain things as a hobby when I was a child. Now I don't do it anymore. And these hobbies are meant for children to do it, right? Or maybe adolescents to do it. But that is not the truth. These hobbies are very much needed for grown-ups and for adults. Equally important, because we all have an inner child within us, which feels elated, which feels good, which feels really happy when when they get in touch with these things. So so embrace nature, you know embrace nature in whatever form it is. Now whatever way now it is, we have made it this way. So it is our responsibility to get this cleaned and not further adding the toxins into the environment. Whatever way that you can do it, do not use plastics. Reuse whatever you have. Go to the minimalistic way of life if possible. I'm not saying it's something that you can start practicing it today itself, but as a journey, as a process in life, if you can choose to reuse it, if you can choose to give away certain things, someone who can use it, right? And start embracing yourself. Maybe you are with a lot of anger now, a lot of irritation, uh, lot of jealousy, or maybe any other negative emotions that you can think of. But think about this one thing, that you comprise of everything. Whatever has come to you with an experience, and those experiences were real to you. So if something has happened to you in a bad format, so one can really process it. If that processing doesn't happen inside of us, then it becomes a problem. होता है ना, कोई भी, कई लोग कहते हैं ना कि कोई भी दर्द जो है बहुत समय तक रह जाए तो नासूर बन जाता है, चाहे इमोशनल या बॉडी में कोई फिजिकल. So why it becomes a very grave situation in our emotional or in our physical body is that we do not get it cleaned, we do not process it properly at mental level. If something needs to be forgiven, forgive it. If something needs to be forget it. If something you can do about it, do it. If something you know that nothing can be done about it, leave it. So if we understand these few things, and if we understand how to be gentle with ourselves, how to be gentle with our nature and environment, then we become calmer to ourselves. We become not very pushy towards ourselves when we understand ourselves better and our nature better. So live your life fully, because this life is meant to be lived fully. But at the same time, care for each other, care for the environment, care for ourselves. This is very important. And uh, uh, this community feeling, this togetherness feeling, this feeling of love, care, attention, these are very, very important ingredients towards a happy life. So relationships, yes, one needs to work upon it over the period of time and see what it can brings you. So with these thoughts, I know I have touched upon few things, but it's a food for thought for all of us, that how we can uh, understand the nature outside and how we should understand a nature inside. And everything has many dimensions to it. Nothing lives in isolation, right? So nature is connected to human beings, and me as an individual is connected to so many things around us. So this connections, interconnections, and networking are making it complex day by day. But the only thing that we can do is to understand, is to be in this moment, is to understand that this is what it is. Now let me do what I can do. Not thinking, what if I can do this and what will happen to that? And if that could have been done, it would have been better. Like maybe, nothing that we can change in past and nothing that we can change in future, which is not yet there. So what we can change is our present. So do what you can do right now and live in the right now, live in this moment, live right now, enjoy, do whatever you want to do. If you were feeling sad, feel that feeling, but then understand that this is a feeling for you. This is also you. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, this is also you. So do not try to get away with it, like, okay, this is not part of me, this is bad. Not like that. It's you only. So be gentle in all the situations to your environment and to your inner self. So with this, I pause, and if there is any discussions that we can do on any of uh, the aspects that we have covered, I would be happy to do that. So
Thank you, Tulika, for a wonderful talk. It was really, I think it's the need of the hour, because now we already have the impact, in different, like what happened in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, even happening now. So I think we really need to think like the way we are living, the way we are consuming. So it's very important.
yes, true, very true.
So if anyone wants to add or share your thoughts, any question if you have, please feel free to ask. So Tulika, can you give us some example, like where to start from? Because now we are so much, habitual in the way we are living. So we don't think, okay, it's life is possible without this or that. So what is your suggestion?
Yeah, so very apt question, in the sense that where to start, because sometimes when we are becomes when we become very motivated to do it, but we become really stranded in this idea that where to start, because there is everywhere we are feeling that things are not working and things are in such a state that maybe it is so difficult to reverse it. So sometimes we give up, maybe in terms of our own health condition or maybe outside what we see in nature. But every single step that we take is important, is something which will make us closer to our goals. Now, whatever I'm going to suggest is something which will be coming from what I like to do first, what I want to do it for, in whatever way I can. For instance, if I in my house, for to take care of the nature, what I'm doing is I've stopped using plastics in my house in whatsoever form, in the kitchen or in the bottles or in tiffins or anything, in whatever ways. And if there is a plastic is there, then we are reusing it, maybe planting certain some doing some plantation in our house. And so this is one thing that I've done it. Now another thing is like whatever I have, I now see it that now I have ample of it. Now I'm not going to buy it till that point it gets finished, even if I feel very attracted to certain things, I will not buy it. And if something I can give away to people in terms of to reuse it, I will share it, with other people. And as far as possible, I am eating things which are in season, so that I'm avoiding this fact of this pesticides laden food. The more we demand such kinds of food, all through the years, somewhere the economy also works in that manner. When there is a demand coming, there is a production happening. So if I am not creating that demand, how will that production will happen? And we may think, what will happen with one person? But yes, one person also, one person growing each day will start making a difference in due course of time. So that is how, in certain things, I wait till the point I feel now it has become a need. So there are many things. Earlier I used to buy instantly, I used to do instantly, I used to now I take a pause, I sleep over that question in my night, and I, maybe for one night or maybe for few nights, and then I land up taking a decision in my life, so that my decision is an informed and very thought uh, thought about decision, and rather um, very quick decision which is driven by my instincts or which are driven by my desires. So at my own small levels I am trying to do it. And yes, second important thing which I am very much careful about related to my body is, what am I eating, what am I putting inside my mouth, is something which I always watch for. So some days when I go to any grocery shop, I really take 15-20 minutes to look for, okay, what should I buy if I have to give something to my son, which he wants to have it as a junk. If he says, I have to really look for it. Then I got to know, okay, there is a banana chips, there is something made up of this chickpeas, there's something made up of this rice. Though it's not a very healthy option, but it's still, something that I can, do it. But that I do it rarely. Whenever I feel that, okay, there is no other option left for me, I have to do that for my child and whatever, right? So for myself, so it's like more of fruits, vegetables, coconut water, more of this natural food, right? So those kinds of things I consciously do it for myself. Having said that, maybe for everyone it might not be the same. So that is why I said in the starting that whatever I'm telling you cannot be the benchmark for everybody, because whatever I'm telling you is from where I am coming from, how I have seen my journey, how I have over the period of work towards health. So all that have contributed for me taking any decisions in life. So if you are starting this journey, be gentle to yourself. Do not think that you have to change yourself or your situation in one day or two. Start doing small things. Start changing your lifestyle. Start eating natural foods. Consciously start making this change at whatever levels you can make. And then you can see a difference coming in you slowly and gradually. And that change is really, is seen. Everything is seen. As season changes and we see the season coming and going, likewise, we also see a change happening in any person or in an environment with little efforts from our side. So choose what you can do comfortably at your given situation, for like the person you are, like you are, what kind the person you are at that level, what you can do, and start doing that. Because we all know what we can do, but we're still not able to do that, right? Because we have our own idiosyncrasies, like we believe certain things and then we can't do anything about it. For instance, there is a statement which comes often, hum chai nahi chhod sakte, right? We cannot leave tea. Since years we are having it. How can we leave tea? Now, these are certain habits which has come into us and which has become a part of us. Now, it is not impossible to leave the tea, but this thought of the statement which we say makes it kind of impossible to leave it. So the person themselves are the best judge for themselves how to change bit by bit, slowly, and in a process, step by step. So start knowing yourself and start bringing that change for you, which is conducive for you, which doesn't make you irritable, which doesn't make you very unpeaceful or restless. The idea is not that you deliberately start doing something thinking that this will give me health and you become very harsh on yourself. No, then the idea is totally gone, ruined, like you have ruined the whole purpose. The idea is to change, but change amicably, change in a manner which is peaceful and which is conducive for you as a human being. So that one can start step by step.
शिवाना जी, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन था और बहुत अच्छा आंसर दिया आपने संध्या जी, बहुत अच्छा. My question is regarding food fad. Like everybody is saying quinoa अच्छा है, and kale अच्छा है, and all these things. और ये omega 3 के लिए अच्छा है. Like ये चीजें हमारे इवन वो बोलते हैं वाइन भी अच्छा है कोलेस्ट्रॉल लो करने के लिए and all. तो ये चीजें हमारे इंडिया की हेल्थ और बॉडी के लिए नहीं बनी है, मेरा ऐसा मानना है. वो मेक्सिकन फ्रूट है क्विनोआ, और ऐसी बहुत सी चीजें हैं फॉर दैट मैटर. तो आपका व्हाट इज योर कमेंट ऑन दैट?
You
like
have answered
people are going crazy, gluten free पे जा रहे हैं, इस पे जा रहे हैं. तो sometimes मुझे लगता है कि it's more of a fad than reality. So what's your comment on that?
Yes, so you have answered the question yourself, that whatever is not regional for us, we must not take it. Why to take that food which is not part of our region, right? Which something we have not had it, something which we have taken it since the childhood, like for example, wheat. Now we are saying it has a problem. It has a problem because our lifestyle is now such that we are mainly sitting for hours, and doing just 45 minutes or 1 hour exercise in a day, and rest of the time we are sitting. That's why the problem has started to come. The food is not the problem. Anything which nature has given is not the problem. The problem is that how we are able to digest it or not. So that needs to be seen. And this race, of so much things around us, what is being made available to us is creating this confusion, this marketing, this advertisement, this lot of things, availability, so many choices given to us is creating that confusion. And sometimes we get this FOMO, like this terminology is like we are missing out on something. Nothing is that we are missing out on anything. Whatever is in the season and whatever belongs to your region and whatever is natural is the food for you. Your body will tell you that this is a food for me. Certain things your body will not accept it, but you tend to eat it. You tend to say, no, it's good for me. So let me eat that. So these quinoa, millets are all good. These are certain things. Certainly, these are very good, and we say that one can have it, right? But for so many other things, which we are told, have this or have that, is you have to really bring your wisdom into that whether really we must listen to all of that, or we must just be simple in our approach. So simplicity is the main thing in natural health science. Make your life simple. Eat simple. Do not mix so many things together in one meal. Okay? Just eat simple foods. Simplicity is the base to it, right? And that is why we say eat mono fruits. And for vegetables, you have to eat a lot of vegetables which are in seasons. Some people eat pumpkins all throughout the year. It is not all throughout the year available. Some people eat apples all throughout the year. And apples becomes very costly when it is not in season. We all know this. So we all know the answers. It's just that we have to really say that what we are thinking is right. So that conviction in you will prove how you're going to move forward. Right? So you need to start feeling that, yes, whatever I'm thinking is right for me and for my family and for my environment, I will start doing it. So lot of information also enervates us, takes away our energy. So stick to few sources, stick to few things which are authentic, reliable, and follow that. Whichever you believe, follow that. Otherwise, there is a lot of information outside, and that can really make you go mad, and then you will feel whether you're doing right or not, and the whole purpose is then gone, and you're feeling restless, you're not feeling okay about it. So where is the health coming? Then it will not be there, right? Have I answered you?
Yeah, yeah, of course. But then the next responsibility is mothers, parents. I mean, I shouldn't be saying mothers, parents, जो बच्चों के लिए फूड और स्नैक पैक करते हैं और गुडीज पैक करते हैं, बर्थडे पार्टीज एंड ऑल। यहाँ से बचपन से ही हम उनको दूसरी हैबिट्स डाल रहे हैं आजकल, जो हम केक, पास्ता, पिज्जा एंड पेस्ट्रीज एंड ऑल, रिटर्न गिफ्ट भी वही जा रहे हैं। तो यहाँ मदर, ग्रैंड मदर, सबकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हो जाती है। बट समवेयर सब शॉर्टकट में जा रहे हैं और फैंसी और ये होने में जा रहे हैं। यहाँ बहुत बड़ा, बच्चे भी आउट ऑफ पीयर प्रेशर कि सबकी पार्टीज में ऐसा होता है करते हैं, तो यहाँ प्रॉब्लम आ रही है और बढ़ती जा रही है। सो मच ऑफ शुगर, सो मच ऑफ सॉल्ट, सो मच ऑफ प्रिजर्व थिंग्स। तो वहाँ हम सबको अवेयर होना है और करना है,
And that is possible because in my life I do it that way. I have a 10.5 years old son. So when we started this thing, about 6-7 years back, so he was also a small kid, but slowly and gradually, the habits that we inculcate, and in birthdays, okay, I allow him, but then as he's growing older, the kind of birthday parties when he goes now, it's like cold drinks served or other kinds of things, pizzas and pastas and all of that. Then I have told him, like, and he also knows that he will not have cold drinks. He knows that. So the point is that how, if we are going to surrender to what our children are saying, or our children are saying that because the other children are doing, why can't we do that? So I always tell my child is that happens in their house, this doesn't happen in our house. So that is the difference. And so maybe initially the child may feel a little not good about it, because obviously you are taking a stand in that direction, but eventually they will be okay about it, because we are the parents, we are responsible for their health, we have to make them in healthy adults. So if we are going to give in with what they are saying, and then ultimately they are going to do what they want to do later on, and then we say they don't listen to us. So before teens, they listen to you, and at the time you give in. And during teens, they want to do what they want to do, and you really make them hellbound. No, listen to me, this is not good, that is not good. So then there is a clash that happens. So we need to understand that where is it that your role as a parent, as a grandparent starts, and that needs to be exercised completely, fully. Where the health of a child is at stake, we must take a stand, but doesn't mean that we become very strict on that part. So there has to be some window to that, because these children are also living in the present times. So when my child goes to a birthday party, so then I told him, okay, fine, if you want to go and there is only that thing is served, okay, take that little bit of whatever you want, you just have it, and then I know what I have to do the next few days, and he knows what mama is going to do it, and he has to agree to that. Now one of the birthday parties I did not send him because few months, about a month or two back, I sent him in that birthday party where there was video games that were, in the malls now there is a games are being, and I don't give my son any games right now because I don't feel it is good for his mind and mental health. So, but that day he was sent and he did that, and the next day again this new child, because now this is a trend becoming. So I told my son, I don't want to send you there. We will go and meet the child in his house, and we're not going to go there because it's the same thing which will happen. He was little unhappy about it, but he became okay with that. So it is about we becoming okay first. If we are okay with what we are prescribing and doing, the child will become okay with that. But if we come in the guilt form and think that something we are not doing right, other children are getting, and we are becoming, so strict and all of that, if you are confused or if you are not clear with what you're doing, if you are having any guilt, the child will receive that. And then it is not good for the child. So it is better that we first become okay with it, and the child will eventually become okay with this lifestyle, healthy eating habits, and all of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Tulika. Anyone else has any question?
And those questions are really thought-provoking questions. These questions shows that we are thinking, we are reflecting upon what we are facing in our lives, the challenges in our environment and in our lifestyle. So thank you for bringing these questions, everyone. I'm really helpful. Thank you.
Rajvin is asking.
Yeah.
Rajvin, can you unmute? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, it is unmute. I don't know. There is.
I can't hear her. Yeah.
I think there is some system issue. Rajvin, we are not able to hear you. There is some issue.
Can you write your question in the chat box? Maybe we can take up from there if that's okay with you. Is she writing the question?
Yeah, I think we can't hear here, so but it looks like. So if someone else has any question, Subhashji, Kailashji, Udayji, Ushaji. Yeah. So she has written, what causes nasal phlegm? So in the chat box, if you can.
Nasal amalgam. Okay. And another is?
Mike,
Shabana ji,
yes, Subhashi.
I have written one question in the chat box that my grandson is always addicted to the video games on laptop as well as mobile, and till night he is watching. He's not caring about his study and other activities. How to get rid of this bad habit?
Yeah, it is a bad habit and it is kind of an addiction, So if we if we are going to really look, very closely how it started, somewhere it started because we only somewhere gave that access to our child.
Yes, right.
So when it starts, it's like, okay, one or two times you take it, and the child is something, they take it because that's something new for them. And these video games are designed in such a manner that it's very difficult to take off the child from there. It's
Right.
made that way, so that the child is completely stuck to that system for long hours,
Yes, sir.
and it creates
Right.
test, because if they will not do that, they will lose this this consumers, which are the most important consumers for these people, the people who are marketing these video games, because children are something we get addicted once, they will fight for it from their parents and grown-ups. Now, so you have to understand the situations in two manners. One manner is that now the child is into it, and somewhere we are also responsible for it, for giving this access, for giving this exposure to the child. So now the child has picked up, and now it is so much accessible to the child that now he's unable to, you know uh, to leave it, because it is designed in that manner. So we have to bring compassion in our heart for that child right now, that okay, he's going through it something, and he has to be taken away from that with love and with something, and if he's a teenager, right, you said?
He's 6.5 year old.
How many, what
6.5 year old.
6.5 years old? Okay, so the approach will be different now for 6.5 years old, and for the teenage it would have been different. So now for 6.5 years old, my suggestion to you is that with love, first of all the gadgets which are related to this video gaming has to be removed from his environment. Suddenly remove it. Night time when he goes off to sleep, just remove it. And next morning when he asks for it, he says, just gone. Some angel came and took that away. I don't know where it is gone. Maybe when you will become grown up, it will come back to you again. But right now it has gone away. You have to really hide it, and hide it in a manner that it never, is there. So mobiles and all that should not be, uh, you know, should not be worked in front of him, because he's a very small child. He imitates what he sees in his environment.
You are right.
Yeah, so what you have to do, you have to just remove from his environment all these gadgets, and whenever he comes to you, you just say, beta, it's gone. This fairy angel has come, and fairy angel said, no, it is not good for you. So just say the name of the child. No, it is not good for Aman or whatever, and it has, she has taken it away. I don't know when it will come back. Maybe when you're grown up, it will come back. That much, nothing else. Just say, fairy angel has taken this away, and remove it. No questions further, no explanations, no this thing. It is bad for 6.5. It's totally bad. It's bad for any kid, but for 6.5, we are taking away the creativity, the brain development, everything. So straightforward, just remove it. And let the child cry if they, because that is something, they find that as a toy. So do not stop them for crying, because that is how they will process this information, or this instruction from you, that because they will not like it. So do not say, don't cry, don't cry. Let them cry, let them express it out. Just be with the child, just give a soft touch to the child, and just be with the child and say, yeah, I understand, but it's gone. It's gone. It's not for you. It's not good for you.
Madam, very now for the last 6 months, 8 months, he is addicted to this video
Okay.
game.
Whatever is
Many
gone
also
bad, it's okay.
very difficult now.
No, it's not difficult.
It is very difficult now.
No, it is not difficult. Try what I am saying. Even if 6 months has gone,
Mhm.
the damage has little bit gone,
Mhm.
just take away that. That's it.
Mhm.
Just remove
Mhm.
from the environment. Night time when he goes off to sleep, remove everything from the environment, everything. What we used to do when my child was small, we used to plug off the connection from the TV and the cable. And when you used to switch it on, oh, TV is on. I said, it's gone, it's not coming, it's not there. So gradually the child will become adjusted. But yes, one thing that you have to do with him is to give him certain creative activities to do. Now, something you're taking away, which means
Mhm.
now become free. So the child has to be given certain creative activities to do, maybe clay work, maybe some painting that you can do together, maybe
Mhm.
crafts that one can do together. Go out in public, this parks and all with him, play with him.
Mhm.
When these things will start, he
Mhm.
will forget about it. He will not talk about it. I'm telling you, with my own experience and many experience with children. So they will not talk about it. If the
But
next
my
morning you will engage him. Next morning you just take
but
him out.
my daughter,
Mm.
you are right, madam. You are 100% right. But my daughter is very lenient to his son, and she is giving laptop, mobile so that he may be busy. But it is not good connected with other creative activities
Yeah.
and
So
games. Right,
mothers
right, right.
are mothers are mothers. They are soft, and all of that. But you
Hmm.
can talk to your daughter, asking
Hmm.
her that if in future his brain development is not happening fully, if his creative skills goes
Hmm.
off, if he doesn't become
Hmm.
a healthy, active, mentally child, will you like it? So she will
Hmm.
definitely say no to that.
Hmm.
So it is how that we communicate certain things to an individual also, because your daughter is also an individual who is doing certain things because of certain beliefs in her mind. She might be feeling that, if I give this thing to my child, I'm like a good mother, and I'm really, doing something for my son. But if she's given a picture, or if she's given uh, an understanding that by doing these things, agreeing to the son at this level will not serve him when he'll grow old, then she will understand it, right? So it is how we communicate this thing to the other person will make the whole difference, either to a child or to an adult. So it is possible. And if
Okay.
you just make her listen to this recorded thing later on, that for 6.5 years old,
Okay.
she should stop
Hmm.
quickly, and give him things which the child can do it on its own. Some craft, engage. You have to sit and play with the child for a little while. Take him to the park or somewhere, and then the child will never ask for it. At this age, children forgets easily. You can divert a child very
Yes.
easily. So first,
Right. Right.
the adult has to make up their mind that this is not good, media is not good, video gaming is not good, and I have to stop it. So this conviction and clarity must come in the adult's mind first. Then only it can happen. The child will adapt to any new situation anywhere, and any healthier situation will give them more healthier mentally and physically well-being. So just speak to your daughter, and I think she will understand for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this question,
Thank you, madam. Good advice.
yeah, thank you.
I request Madam Shabana to send this de- recording to me so that I may show to my daughter. And your advice is very, very nice and good. Whether uh, Shabana will send the
Yeah,
video,
she will send.
this
Yeah, she will send.
recording to me.
Yes, yes.
So,
I
so
will.
Okay,
we
thank you.
actually
Thank you.
send the recording every day in the consciously positive group. So definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this question, okay, yeah.
What causes nasal spasm? And ma'am, one of the participants have written thank you for a nice session, and Rajvan has asked what causes nasal spasm.
Yeah, so this I'm not able to understand. There is a blockage in the nose, and because of that, there is some breathing issue or something like that. So that is a specific question. So maybe I would request her to just message me, and the number can be taken from Shabana. Just message me, and I can suggest you certain things to do which can solve your problem. Right?
Yeah, Rajvin, you can individually talk to Tulika on WhatsApp maybe. Because Rajvin is based in Malaysia, so maybe she can do
Yeah. You just message me and just write me what symptoms that you're having, what problems that you are facing currently, and then I can suggest you few things that you can do it, and let's see how it goes for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tulika, for a wonderful session, and you patiently answered all the questions. And yeah, we look forward to hear from you again next Saturday.